It's exactly 35 years since the greatest achievement in Rangers history. On the 24th of May 1972, John Greig and the Barcelona Bears got their hands on the European Cup Winners' Cup. Tonight the squad meet again to celebrate that famous evening in the Nou Camp. Players past and present arrived at Glasgow's Hilton Hotel to reflect on that famous night in the history of the Glasgow club. Many of the players still catch up on match days at Ibrox, but for some it was the first time they have met in years. The likes of Ronnie McKinnon, who was robbed of a place in the final through injury, travelled from the Isle of Lewis. Substitute goalkeeper Jerry Neef fought off illness to jet in from Germany to join in the celebrations. From McCloy in goal, Jardine and Smith at the back, Greig in midfield and Johnston up front, all the big names were present to enjoy a night of celebration. Host for the night, Dougie Donnelly, welcomed the class of '72 on stage, and the players were reminded of just how special a place they hold in the hearts of the Rangers faithful. The players were piped into the main hall and led by Captain John Greig, who got his hands on the Cup Winners' Cup for the first time since he lifted the trophy in the bowels of the Nou Camp Stadium, having been denied the chance to raise the silverware aloft in front of the world.
Alan MacDonald, Willie Johnson, Colin Jackson, Ronnie McKinnon, Willie Henderson, Derek Parlane, Jim Denny, and all the way from Germany, Jerry Neef, the best.
Every single member of the historic squad made it along to the bash, with the exception of their late manager Willie Waddell and teammate Andy Penman, who were represented by their families. Dinamo Moscow were the side turned over on that special night, but further European giants in the shape of Rennes, Sporting Lisbon, Torino and Bayern Munich were disposed en route to the final at the home of Barcelona.
Right throughout the whole campaign, everybody had great games and different nights, and you put it all together with a great squad, great team spirit, and I think that's what won it.
When you look at the quality of teams we played, and I mean, they were all from the major soccer nations and that, so it was a fantastic achievement, as I say.
But leading up to the final and all that, with some great games in Sporting Lisbon, the Bayern Munich game, the Rennes game, so it was a huge time in the life of players at Ibrox at that time.
It's got to be the second round against second leg against Sporting Lisbon. When we come off the pitch, we all felt we were out the tournament, and to be told later that we were back in it, I think we started to feel then that possibly it might be our year.
When you're sitting there on the ground and you think it's finished, and somebody comes in and says, "No, you're through," it was absolutely brilliant, you know.
Against Bayern Munich in the semi-final, the Rangers players played the game of their lives. A Bayern side boasting the likes of Franz Beckenbauer, Sepp Maier, Gerd Müller and Franz Roth, put to the sword by goals from Sandy Jardine and Derek Parlane, the 18-year-old kid in for his debut at the expense of the injured captain John Greig.
Over it comes, punched away one-handed and a chance for a goal! Referee gives it. Derek Parlane.
My highlight's the Bayern Munich game, definitely the Bayern Munich game. I wasn't really involved particularly in any of the other games, but was pulled into the squad that night, and then to be told I was playing was tremendous, you know, and not only that, but to go out and score a goal that helped take us through, tremendous.
Seeing the goal up on the big screens in there earlier, that bring back the memories?
Not half. It's not as if it was 35 years ago. It was as if it was yesterday. So it's great stuff. It brings it all back, and we see the crowds that were there that night. I mean, 80,000 in the ground. In my European debut, it was unbelievable.
Rangers faithful supporters travelled en masse to take their place in the new camp, with the Light Blues Legion filling around 90% of the stadium that night.
When I saw the supporters, the anticipation on their faces going to Barcelona, and you have to remember that in those days there was no Russian supporters, and the expectations of our supporters, because we'd beaten the big team Bayern Munich in the semi-final as well, I just felt we couldn't lose. And for winning comfortably, we nearly threw it away. But at the end of the day, we got there, and it's something that the older supporters in the club got a lot of enjoyment out of.
There's Rangers team: McCloy, Jordan Matheson, Gregg, Derek Johnson and Smith, McLean, Conn, Steen, McDonald and Willie Johnson, and of course the substitutes. A very powerful looking team, and off we go. There's Sabo, Joseph Sabo goes down heavily, John Gregg behind him, Willie Johnston, and the whistle goes. It's a free kick, and John Gregg no doubt be looking after Sabo tonight. Dave Smith. A lot expected from Smith. Culture tonight, number 3 going in very heavily. Russians playing it delicately. There's Alec McDonald to John Gregg. Trying to find Johnston. Johnston still after it, going in hard. Tackling very hard indeed. Good tackle by Alec McDonald. Russians quick, recovering though. And McCloy a little unsure there. Good clearance by McCloy. Dolmasov was up there, Tommy McLean. And a great shot and save. Certainly much more like it from Rangers. Here it comes again, Tommy McLean just getting in there, and the goalkeeper, Willie Matheson, Johnston, John Gregg. Gregg. Good tackle by Gregg. Colin Steen. Steen going in and impeded by the referee, and nevertheless Rangers picking up the pace of the game now. This is what we want to see from them. I think they've let the Russians play around in a kind of academic way far too long, and now McLean to take this. Good one to that far side. It's touched away there by Zykov. Evrazin. Jardin's in. No whistle. Dave Smith has it towards Colin Steen. Here's Steen. It's a goal. It's a goal by Steen. What a goal. What a goal by Steen. Here it comes. What a goal by Steen. He followed that up. And woof, in it goes. Pandemonium, bedlam, rolled up together, let loose, and even Rangers supporters around us, behind us, going absolutely berserk. Tommy McLean, bring that down neatly. Where goes McLean? Out of Colin Steen, brought down, free kick, and he's right over beside the Rangers supporters who would look hostile at the Russians if they even sneezed at Steen. McLean with it. The neat ball to Derek Johnston. Steen. Alfie Conn. John Gregg. Here's Dave Smith. Smith going up. It's a good ball, it's a goal. It's a goal by Willie Johnston. It's a goal by Johnston. But there it is, watch it, number 2 this time. The Russian defense cut out in the middle. Willie Johnston's up there, a neat flick, and the goalkeeper completely deceived. Rangers 2-0 up. 39 minutes gone. There he is, a picture of a happy man. Flowers are being thrown onto the, well, I would like to see onto the field. In fact, they're landing on us from the top. There's a good ball to number 10, Mahikov. Out comes McCloy, and it's a good touch by McCloy. We're in extra time in this half. Dave Smith. McLean beautifully to Derek Johnston. It's Johnston and just wild. Sabo. Zhukov. And that's a corner, I think. It's a corner kick. Alfie Corner feeling that it actually got off the Russian. 2 minutes into extra time by our watch. Vrijan to take it. Vrijan. Deeply out there, trying to find Khan. And there's a half-time whistle. Rangers leading by 2-0. But Rangers, of course, coming onto a very strong game. They must be entirely content with being 2 goals up in a European final. All sorts of scenes going on in the terracing as Colin Steen starts off the second half. And the Rangers control themselves. The cup could go back to Ibrox. This is number 10, Mahonikov. To 8, Javikic. Russians you might find picking up the pace of the game. Here's Willie Matheson and Jardine. Sandy Jardine. To Dave Smith. And towards Steen. Colin Steen. Steen with it to Willie Johnston. Go to Rangers. Back he goes to Dave Smith. On to Jardine. To Khan. Rangers will be quite content to keep possession of the ball in the second half, as long as that score remains. Steen, and here's Willie Johnston with a chance. And it's a goal. It's a goal by Johnston right out of the blue. Rangers 3 up. Incredibly 3 up. The start of the second half. Here it comes now. Watch how the Russian defense was absolutely cut out. Down towards Johnston, and he comes in at the back. They look towards the linesman. They picked his spot. Looked as if he might have hit it too late, but no, the goalkeeper slow going down. And there we are, Rangers 3-0 up. Rangers players striding the way confidently around this pitch. Songs rising up from all around the Barcelona stadium. 99% of it populated by Rangers supporters, or 99% of the people here Rangers supporters. Here's Matheson, and it's a bad one. It's a great chance for the Russians. And that's a goal. Number 13 has scored. Estrakov, the substitute. And a bad pass at the end. Russians playing up well, though. Here's Colin Steen. Steen with it. He needs some support. He has nobody. Still Steen. To McLean. Oh, it's just over. Great play by Colin Steen. And there was nobody with them. Tommy McLean came up at the last, as you'll see. He was looking for somebody, and there it is. Klein doing well to take that first time. And it's a goal. It's a great goal. Free kick to the Russians. This is number 4, Zhikov. Hebraisian. Now Colin Steen to Willie Johnston. Fighting in hard as Alec MacDonald. And Johnston pushing and shoving, a free kick to the Russians. I make it about a minute to go. A minute to go, allowing for that extra time. Alec MacDonald. And McCloy letting it go. There's Colin Steen. Sabo. Smith. Russians, and there it is! The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
11 Scottish lads out there that night as well, Keith, and that's a big thing about it. And you know, I'm not sure that'll ever happen again, but it was great, and those boys played for the blue jersey. There's no doubt about that. That was, I think, that showed through.
I think Davy Smith had an outstanding tournament. You know, you look at them, Davy Smith, Willie Johnson and Colin Steen were magnificent right throughout, and I think that the three of them, it's hard to pick a man of the match, but if you're pushing me, I think I would possibly go for Davy Smith.
Looking back at the night yourself, the 2 assists for the goals, could you have dreamt it would go any better?
Well, you don't dream about these things and you don't even think about them, they just happen.
No whistle, Dave Smith has it towards Colin Steen. Here's Steen, it's a goal! It's a goal by Steen, what a goal!
It is a team effort. I mean, it's unfair to pick out anybody really, but the boys up front did their bit by scoring goals obviously, and also the amount of work they did, and the boys in midfield did a hell of a lot of work as well.
Alfie Conn, John Gregg, here's Dave Smith. Smith going up. It's a good ball, it's a goal. It's a goal by Willie Johnston.
It was a great night in my career. I've scored 2 goals for Glasgow Rangers in a European Cup final. I couldn't. It was possibly the best night of my life. But that was just a game.
Which was your favourite of the 2 goals?
First one, header. Try to stop that one.
And there's a half-time whistle. Rangers leading by 2 goals to nothing. But Rangers, of course, coming onto a very strong game. They must be entirely content with being 2 goals up in a European final.
2-0 up in the final at half-time against Dinamo Moscow. What was said at half-time?
But it was basically just go on, keep attacking, and we'll see what happens.
Great for you to get an assist that night as well.
Well, we always get a few goals over the seasons with a long kick out. The ball maybe didn't travel as far these days, but I always get a wee bit extra out of it, and we got a vital goal that night.
When you went 3-0 up, did you think there was any chance Dinamo Moscow could get back in? Obviously they brought back to 3-2. Was the nerves jangling at that point?
Well, you never really know how these games will go, but I think we just relaxed a bit, and they scored the first goal, got them back in it. They brought in 2 fresh subs and got a bit of impetus going, and we were, I'm not saying we were tiring a bit, but we had a couple of players in the park who were nursing injuries, and we were struggling a bit. But the second goal they scored was 3 minutes to go, which I think we thought was still safe.
The nerves were gone because we had actually gone to that time, and they could possibly, if they'd have scored, I think if it went to extra time, they would have went on and won. But as I say, we done the business early on.
Russians, and there it is! The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
The whistle went once, and the Rangers supporters come onto the park, invaded the park, and I think they done us a big favour, because I think if it had went, they had scored again, and they went to extra time or whatever was going to happen, I think we might have lost it.
being able to lift the trophy on the pitch. Was that a big disappointment at the time, Peter?
Very, very disappointment, because most of the guys, their families was all there that night in Barcelona, and it was nice for them to have seen that.
It was disappointing. It was a bit muted immediately after, but we made up for it when we got back to the hotel, and there was not much sleep that night.
The main two men are not here, as far as I'm concerned, as Willie Waddle and Joe Wallace, who were absolutely fantastic in that journey we had. They were absolutely brilliant.
How was Willie that night? You see the pictures of him in the dressing room afterwards. It looks like it's the calmest he's ever been.
Well, I think it was very stressful for them. There was a hell of a lot on the game and the pressure. Rangers being a big club and him being a manager, there was a lot of pressure, and it was great to see that in the next couple of days the relaxation and the pressure took off.
Rangers winning Warriors arrived back in Glasgow with the trophy in tow before travelling back to Ibrox by bus. There they were welcomed by a packed Ibrox, and even the rain couldn't dampen the spirit as the players were led around the pitch on the back of a coal lorry. The welcome home was a special moment for the triumphant players.
We still remember that. It was a really wet night, pouring rain, but I think about 30,000 supporters turned up, and half of them were still over in Barcelona, so aye, great memories.
Great reception, great reception. A lot of the fans were still in Spain. It was a great reception for the fans that night, and one we'll always remember.
Rangers were eventually banned from Europe the year after the Cup win as a result of the pitch invasion before the full-time whistle. Although that ban led to the history-making team beginning to disband, the camaraderie was still there in abundance.
It's been a fantastic night. It's not often we get together. I think it's the third or fourth time we've all been together, and it's superb to see them all again. You know, getting older, but most enjoyable. Yes.
Oh, it's nice to see all the boys again. I mean, it's amazing how well they're all looking. So it's really good, yeah.
There must be a few memories flooding back from that night.
Oh, there's a few, but I couldn't tell you now. You know, it'll be a bit embarrassing for some of us.
I'm quite sure we'll be trying to think how good we still are.
It is absolutely fantastic. We've had a great night. When all the boys get together, it's always a good occasion, and tonight's a bit special, you know, the 35th anniversary of the Barca Bears, so it's a great night. Thoroughly enjoying it.
I actually don't know where the years have gone, to be honest with you. It seems to have passed that quickly. And as I said earlier, all these guys were Rangers through and through. Their jerseys were always soaking wet when they come off the pitch, and they were all very proud to play for the Rangers Football Club.
The squad of 1972 set a standard that is yet to be bettered. A team of 11 Scots taking on the best that Europe had to offer. Bayern and Torino had no answer to the brilliance of Willie Waddle's wily charges, and in the final, Dinamo Moscow were left in no uncertain terms as to who Glasgow Rangers were. They went down in history that balmy May evening 35 years ago, and they are still remembered today as the heroes of Barcelona.
I think it was a great achievement for the lads, and it wasn't any team we were playing big teams.
We were fortunate, we had great players, but we combined to become a good team.
Jordan's in. No whistle, Dave Smith has it. Towards Colin Steen. Here's Steen, it's a goal! It's a goal by Steen, what a goal!
Can't get any bigger thing than winning a final, and to, as I say, win the Cup Winners' Cup final was a fantastic achievement, and something that will live in the memory of not just all the players tonight, but a lot of the supporters as well.
John Gregg. Here's Dave Smith. Smith going up. It's a good pass, a goal. It's a goal by Willie Johnston. It's a goal by Johnston, and this time the Rangers supporters aren't coming on, thankfully. But there it is, watch it, number 2 this time. The Russian defence cut out in the middle. Willie Johnston's up there, a neat flick and the goalkeeper completely deceived. Rangers 2-0 up. 39 minutes gone.
Throughout the whole campaign, everybody had great games on different nights, and you put it all together with a great squad, great team spirit, and I think that's what won it.
Rangers will be quite content to keep possession of the ball into the second half, as long as that score remains. Steen, and here's Willie Johnston with a chance, and it's a goal. It's a goal by Johnston, right out of the blue. Rangers 3 up, incredibly 3 up. Here's Matheson, and it's a bad one. The great chance for the Russians. And that's a goal. Number 13 has scored. Estrakov, the substitute. And it's a goal. It's a great goal.
When I saw the supporters, the anticipation on their faces going to Barcelona, and you have to remember that in those days there was no Russian supporters, and the expectations of our supporters, because we'd beaten the big team Bayern Munich in the semi-final as well, I just felt we couldn't lose. And for winning comfortably, we nearly threw it away. But at the end of the day, we got there, and it's something that the older supporters in the club got a lot of enjoyment out of.